happy to see you back. And I'm happy to be back as well every alternate Friday on Namami Life, bringing you some fitness and health tips and trying to up your fitness game. So today's topic is metabolism or metabolism, however you might pronounce it, and the whole enigma behind it, and what exactly is it and how does it help in our weight loss, health, weight maintenance, and our lifestyle journey. So I'm going to be talking to you all about everything that is incorporated with metabolism, and then I would love you to pour your questions and I would love to answer them and give you my tips and my take on them. So, what is metabolism? Well, it's actually the process by which your body burns the calories and expends energy. So, it depends on how much, how good or how slow or fast your metabolism is how many calories you'll be able to burn fast or slow. Also, metabolism is your daily activity and all you do throughout the day, including resting, sleeping, sitting, and doing all other works, eating food, working out, walking. Every activity that you do counts in your metabolism, and it actually engages and burns calories and brings you more energy depending on how much your movement and your lifestyle is. So there are a few factors that are dependent and which vary and are actually which work around how your metabolism is fast or slow. Well, there is genetics, which is genes. There is age. There is gender. There is a lifestyle, food, exercise, and sleep. Well, of course, we can't do much about the first three, which is genetics, gender, and age. Genes are something that your body is composed of, and the whole composition becomes how it is when you are born, and your body pretty much and your life pretty much is dependent on how your genetic structure is. Well, though you can alter it a little bit with your changes in your lifestyle. Like I do have a diabetic gene in my body, so I do try and manage my sugar and I keep my desserts down. I don't eat sugar. So I could get diabetes if I don't control it and if I don't watch for it. Like I do have an alcoholic gene as well, which is strange because I'm a teetotaler and I don't drink. But then I guess somewhere behind from your ancestors, your genes are prevalent in your body. So that's what I meant, that we cannot do much about our genetic structure. Of course, we cannot do anything about our gender. Having said that, men have a faster and a higher metabolism than women. So they tend to burn more calories and store less fat as compared to women. Third is again age. Well, we can't do anything about it. So let's all age gracefully. And also, as you start aging, your metabolism starts slowing down. Of course, even if your metabolism was higher at some point in life when you were younger or when we are younger, but we have to accept that slowly, sooner or later with age, the metabolism does slow down because the organs also start slowing down, the digestive system, everything around those organs is not as active as it was earlier. So we have to take that into consideration. So those are the three things which are really not what we can manage and do much about. However, the factors that you really can take charge of are food and activity, sleep. So I'm going to count and tell you and come around to telling you of what can rev up your metabolism, okay, and what actually slows it down. So let's talk about first what slows down the metabolism. Hi, thank you. I'm happy to be back too. I know I love you all. So sweet of everyone to join in. What slows the metabolism down? Now, I want to tell you here that We all want to try and lose weight. We all want to have a healthy weight. And so many times we try and go on crash dieting thinking that we are losing weight, but drastically cutting down on calories or losing weight is also very harmful because it takes your body into a scarcity mode. Somewhere when you're eating too less a calorie or too less your food and you're going on crash diets, your body sends a signal that it doesn't have food. And that's why it will automatically slow down your metabolism so that your body can cope up with living or doing everyday's activity. So less food, eating too fewer calories will not help. It will slow down your metabolism. Not eating enough protein. That's a very, very important ingredient to pull up your metabolism, because protein builds muscle mass and you actually burn more calories when you build lean muscle than just burning fat. I'll come around to that when we talk about what and how to pick up the metabolism. So that's how it is. If you eat more protein, then your metabolism will stay high. But if you're not including proteins, then again you will tend to slow down your metabolism. Leading a sedentary lifestyle, I mean, of course, I don't really need to say that. I'm sure we all know that. If you're not really moving too much, you're not burning calories, you're not expending too much energy, and hence your metabolism tends to stay slow. Sugary beverages, eating complex carbs, too much of fatty foods, these are all the reasons why your metabolism could be slow. So there are so many times where you're probably eating right and you might say that, oh, but I have hit a weight loss plateau or it's not really changing. So that's where metabolism comes into place, that maybe your metabolism is so slow that your weight loss is not going to help now. It's not going to change. So you need to not look at your calories, but try and change your metabolism rate. Okay. Also, if you're not hydrated well and you're not sleeping well and you're getting too stressed, it's really going to play havoc with your metabolism and really slow it down. So to keep everything going and keep your body activated, you need to keep into mind all these factors to pull it up. So, yes. Yeah, it's my favorite topic also, anything related to health, fitness. I love to learn, I love to talk about it, and whatever you want to talk, and if you know something, please let me know as well. So now, things that bring up the metabolism, things that will rev up our metabolism is what? The most important is picking up a high intensity workout or a Tabata workout into your routine. I know a lot of us think that burning calories is the best way. I burn calories, I'm burning 400 calories, 300 calories, and my metabolic rate is very good. But no, what we need to see is how many calories are you burning as compared to how much workout you're putting in. So let me tell you here, when we do strength training, friends, which is my favorite way of working out, because you need to pick up your strength and resistance training if you want to pick up your metabolism. Okay. So what happens is, I'm going to give you an example that if you work out 30 minutes of high intensity workout, you will burn 300 calories. And if you walk on a treadmill for 60 minutes, you will burn 300 calories. So in 30 minutes, with doing a high intensity workout where the heart rate goes up and you bring it down, you burnt the same amount of calories that you just put an extra half an hour just running, jogging on a treadmill or running outside. Plus you didn't build any strength. So that's why bringing in a high intensity workout will actually rev up the metabolism. Plus it will keep your metabolism going for the next 18 to 20 hours. Even when you're resting, really. So try and bring in high intensity workouts and Tabata workouts bring in those. Swimming is a fabulous way. Even if you're doing walking, I mean, a lot of us just love walking and the weather is good now. So you can bring in a circuit training in a walking circuit, which is going to be, if you walk, then please start after every 3 minutes of a walk, 60 minutes of a jog, 60 seconds of a jog. Okay. Then again, slow down your pace, walk, and then again pick up the pace and do a jog. So here also it's like a high intensity and a low intensity combination of the walking. Yeah, Priya. So I'm talking about boosting the metabolism. My first number is bring in high intensity workouts. Okay, HIIT is what we call it, where your heart rate goes up and you can bring it down. You can include workouts like burpees, planks, jumping jacks, and then you can do push-ups. So it's a combination of picking up your heart rate and then bringing it down on the plank, maybe to do some push-ups, then again pick it up with burpees and then bring it down with just ab workouts. So it's a high intensity combination. Then pick up your proteins. Protein, like I just said, it actually burns more fat and builds more lean muscle. So does metabolism slow down after 20s? No, that's too young. 20s is no age. Let's talk post 50, 40, and especially when one hits menopause and stuff like that. But 20s is really no age. Come on, just go for it. Pick up your exercise regime, be more active, and start walking people. Change your lifestyle also. If you have to call your car to the gate, walk to the gate. Take more stairs than you take the escalators or the elevators. Stuff like that. Keep walking and talking. Hi, Navneet. So you will bring in that. And then, of course, your diet. Bring in more proteins and do healthy carbs. Try and substitute your carbs with fruits and vegetables. Yes, yoga can boost metabolism, especially Surya Namaskars. They are my favorite way because they're also a great way to pick up the heart rate and bring it down. So you could change the pace of your Surya Namaskars and that will actually boost up metabolism. Yeah, so apart from that, if you have certain foods, green tea, oolong tea are great ways of boosting the metabolism because they actually increase the burning of the fat faster by 10 to 15%. Coffee is a great way as well, so bring that into it. And who has more metabolic rate, men or women? Definitely men. And they tend to store less fat than women. I know, it's not fair, but that's how it is. Women have to work harder. In that same time frame, I have seen that men lose weight faster with the same kind of... Sorry, but women take more time to lose calories and get results than men. Spicy foods also, yes, you heard me right. So if you people are the ones who go and grab extra chili flakes and sauce, this would, I'm talking about the foods. So there is an ingredient called the capsicum, which is mostly available in capsicums, cayenne peppers, spicy foods. So pick in more spices and herbs to boost your metabolism. And coconut oil, it's a fabulous way. So add in more coconut oil. And my favorite way is actually to bring in coconut oil first thing early morning, empty stomach. And I also put a magical ingredient which is great to boost metabolism. Is called the apple cider vinegar, ACV. So I normally make a concoction of warm water with ACV and about 1 teaspoon of ACV, 1 teaspoon of coconut oil, and cinnamon powder to bring in that little sweetness so it doesn't taste so yucky. So that's what I do thrice a week now. And the other 3 days in the morning, first thing I have amla shot. So does metabolism differ from person to person? Definitely it does. Like I said in the beginning, it depends a lot on your genetic structure, your lifestyle, what you eat, what you work out. It totally differs from people to people. Also, stay hydrated and sleep well. Those two are always my most favorite ones, and which is something which is also underrated, the value of water and sleep for everything. Okay, so if we're doing everything right and we still not eating, having enough water and sleeping well, it's going to start affecting the other things. Yes, stress. I'm glad you asked me that. Stress is a major reason also to bring down your metabolism, because you see, it's natural. If you're stressed, your body is not able to cope up with anything that you want to work out. It's going to take you into, some of us get into a little anxiety and a depressed mood, and we reach out for comfort foods. So the moment you do all that, when you're stressed, your body will slow down, right? So stress is a big reason why the metabolism slows down. And yes, hormonal imbalances. Someone asked me about thyroid. If you have thyroid, if you have PCOD, if you have diabetes, then again the metabolism goes down. BMR is your resting rate. Yeah, it's the metabolic resting rate at your... So when you're eating or exercising, your body burns calories, and you need to take into consideration your active calories and your resting calories as well. Okay, and that's why metabolism plays a very important role, and it pumps up even your resting calories if throughout the day you've been very active and doing the right things. Yes, I just said sleep is very important. Sleep actually, if you don't sleep well, it'll hinder your weight loss goals. It'll hinder even your workouts. You will not be able to give as much attention. Your muscles are drained out, they're tired, they didn't sleep well, they're not rested. So not only will they function effectively, but also they get more prone to injuries if you don't sleep well and you haven't rested well. The other thing which is very important to bring up the metabolic rate is strength training, friends. So everyone who's a cardio junkie and who just runs and loves to do a treadmill for one hour, please bring in strength training or some form of resistance training. Okay, that's the best way to pump up your metabolic rate. So high intensity workouts and strength training. I'm just talking about the workouts. Yes. So high intensity training, very important to boost up the metabolic rate. Strength training. So bring in weights, even your own body weight. And that's why I said yoga is also fabulous. Pilates is fabulous. Doing the TRX suspension training, lifting is all great for resistance training because you build muscle. And I want to tell you here that 1 pound of lean muscle gained actually burns 14 calories in a day. And 1 pound of fat burned burns only 2 to 3 calories a day. So if you understand the difference, when you're building muscle, you're burning 14 calories per day and 1 pound of it, that is. So compared to what you're doing a cardio and you think you're burning fat. But burning fat is not enough. You need to actually start focusing on muscle building and lean muscle. So that's, yeah. So high intensity workouts, strength training, include more proteins, more water, more sleep. Okay. Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm ready for questions, answers. So those are the things that you need to bring in if you want to pick up your metabolism. Yeah, exercises, I just said, bring in more planks, burpees, push-ups. Swimming is a great exercise. Cycling, also cycling these days is very popular. You can bring in a cycling circuit as well, where you do a fast-paced cycling and then you bring down and slow down the cycle, just like I said about the walking circuit. So it's the best way. If you're doing cycling, it's more cardio, but you can bring in and alter it around and play it your way to boost up your metabolism. Okay. Yeah, a fast. So that's what happens when a lot of people eat so much food and they still don't put on weight. And on the other side, people will eat very less calories and still put on weight. So that's the difference. That's the whole thing about metabolism. People who have a fast metabolism tend to lose weight faster. and they don't put on weight even if they are eating well and eating a lot compared to others who are eating low or on a diet. Yes. So pick up your lifestyle, pick up your activity and come out of the sluggish mode. If you're going to be more in a sluggish mode all day, your metabolism is going to slow down because that's your body's way of coping up to keep you healthy and not let you have injuries, not let you have cardiac arrests and stuff like that. So it brings your whole metabolic rate, your body in a slow mode. If you're not eating enough, if you're doing too lesser calories, if you're not sleeping well, right? So those are the things you need to look into to just pick up the metabolic rate and also to lead a healthier lifestyle. And you will realize when your metabolic rate is higher and faster, you feel better. You burn more calories, you have more energy, plus your whole mood is on another high. So those are a few benefits of having a high metabolism. Yes. Okay, questions. Keep them flowing. Aerobics is also a great way to bring in a higher metabolic rate, to pump it up. So yeah, actually if you do high intensity workouts, you need to work out only for 20 minutes. But the combination of exercises must be a high intensity combined with a low intensity. So something which takes your heart rate up and brings it down, right? Like I just said, if you do jumping jacks and if you're doing jump squats, then the next exercise you can bring down to planks or push-ups. So it will kind of bring your heart rate slightly down. And then you again pick up burpees and maybe just some jogs and running side to side. And then again, come down on the floor, do some crunches, do some reverse crunches, stuff like that. And that's a high intensity training. So even if you just do a high intensity training for 30 minutes, that's all the workout you need to do. And you will burn calories all day, even when you're resting, even when you're sleeping. Okay, that's a good one. How many calories should one burn? So this question I love because everybody just thinks it's the calories we burn in a workout is the only calories that we count. If I must burn and work out and do crazy 600 calories today, I must burn 500 calories today. So we go crazy just working out and doing too much cardio, doing too much workout, hitting the gym or our mat twice a day and just doing it mindlessly, thinking we are clocking more calories in a workout. But you forget we burn calories from the moment we wake up and even when we sleep. So start clocking in and actually wear a calorie tracker watch and start it in the morning and see throughout the day how many calories you burn when you're walking, when you're sitting, when you're lifting up, when you're standing, when you're picking things, workout, everything combined. The whole day you will get your calorie count. It will be around 3,000, 4,000 calories burned, and that's what you need to see and take into consideration of what food you're eating, how many calories are you consuming. So that's the calorie count that you need to take into and equate it according to your whole day's calories burnt, not just what calories you burn in the workout in those 2 hours or 1 hour. Okay, any more questions? You can also bring in a lot of zinc, calcium, pump up your selenium, which comes from dals, which comes from seeds and nuts to boost up your metabolism. So that's what I do. I carry healthy nuts in my car or in my bag all the time with a combination of dry fruits. I make a little pouch and I just keep eating that. So if you eat smaller meals and continuous meals all day, your body keeps trying to burn and digest that food. So it will keep burning more calories. And that's why dieting I'm not in favor of, and that's why crash dieting and eating very less food is not going to let your body burn anything. जब कुछ अंदर जाएगा ही नहीं तो वो body burn क्या करेगी आप बताएं. So I eat 1.5 or 2 hours is my time gap. And I divide and break my food out. If I am eating lunch, I do not eat my salad with lunch. I'll eat my kheera, tomato, gajar after 2 hours or 1.5 hours, and then I'll have my evening tea with some nuts, and then again in the evening I'll have a little snack. At about 6 o'clock I'll have a tiny small little sprout salad or chana salad or sweet potatoes, and then I eat my dinner at 8:39. So all day I'm eating, but all the healthy and the right things, right? And the body is working throughout to burn and digest that food, assimilate it, help it absorb the body. So it's working all the time, and hence it's burning calories and expending energy all day. And that's where your metabolism goes up, and that's why my metabolism, I think, is pretty good. So that's what you need to do. And thank you so much for joining in. Yes, thyroid you'll have to check with your doctor for any thyroid and PCOD issues, because it definitely does slow down the metabolism. I know hormones can really play havoc. So with a lot of good Ayurvedic ingredients, you can start bringing your hormones back into play and in balance. Ashwagandha, there is Brahmi, and what else? There is Moringa powder. These are all great ingredients to pick up and balance your hormones. So there was one more. So also now you get a lot of Ayurvedic medicines. You might not get all these spices or herbs, but you do get tablets from Dabur and I think Dabur. So they include all of these, and you could ask your physician to actually prescribe and take these tablets, calcium, selenium, zinc, plus hormone things that will actually balance your hormones. But that's after a lot of tests and when they figure out what is not working for you. Yeah, for some people lactose doesn't work. It's strange. Gluten is not working. So of course, also bring in healthy grains. So try and chuck the white, the sugar, the rice, the flour, and bring in whole grains, bring in healthy wheat flour and all that stuff. So you do good carbs, and that's how your metabolism also stays activated. Okay, questions. Okay, thank you so much for joining in, and I'm gonna do a little recap of how you can rev up your metabolism before this Kitty Kalra signs off. How can you rev up your metabolism? Pick up your high intensity workouts, pick up strength training or aerobics, and bring in your lifestyle changes. Pick up your protein up intake, sleep and hydrate well. So thank you so much for joining in, and stay healthy, eat well, bring in a lot of immunity boosters. The weather's changing, we have pollution coming up, we have, well, hopefully a lot of people will not play too much Diwali and crackers. But yes, the weather's changing and I believe with pollution, corona might get, because we're more prone to get flus, so we might attract more flus. So let's try and keep corona at bay. So try and have your kadas and your immunity boosters, and pump up that zinc, vitamin C continuously, and your vitamin D. Thank you guys, take care, I'll see you soon again.